All right, so let me go ahead and hop into it. Get these off. All right, so let me. You guys can see the chart, right?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, just double checking. So let me clear these out. All right. All right. So yeah. So we'll go ahead and kick it off. So it looks like these guys aren't gonna hop on this week. It's all good. Jeremy and Nate and my mom didn't hop on this one, but it's all good. So we'll go ahead and start off with looking at the higher time frame to see if we can kind of see a trend, right? So, but what I'm gonna start with is kind of talking about last week. So, want to kind of go through last week and what happened last week, and if we had any quality trades. So we're gonna go to. We'll go to the daily chart, right? So if you guys notice on this daily chart, oh, there's somebody right there. Hold on for a second. Oh, that's my mom trying to hop on. Hold on for a second. All right. You can hear me, Will? Yeah, I'm trying to see if she can.
She probably trying to figure that junk out.
Yeah.
Again. Sometimes she have to, take her a few minutes, man.
Yeah, I'm sending her a message in the thing. Yeah, I just sent it to her right now. All right, so real quick, so we'll go through what happened last week. So if you guys notice, right? So last week started on. Somebody text me too. Last week started on the 27th, right? You can hear me, Will?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Let's see what this. Oh, Herman, you back? Got Herman talking about he got to run in the bathroom real quick.
Hey, that big guy gonna do number 13.
Hey, yeah, this guy MIA, man.
Hey.
So, yeah, so but we'll still hop into it. He can when he gets back, I could just cover it again. So it ain't no problem. But basically, from the 27th, right? So this is the daily chart. So you guys can see. I'm gonna highlight basically real quick the week from last week, right? So this is it's gonna be kind of weird because of how it's set up, but you can highlight it. So this is basically in this area is last week's moves, right? The movement in the market. So if you guys notice, it's basically kind of like sideways, right? You see how it's moving from left to right? It's no trend. It's not like it's going all the way up or all the way down. It's kind of moving left to right. So that's basically consolidation. There wasn't a lot of trades last week. So if I go down to the 4-hour chart and you see what I have highlighted, you can see it better. You see how it's pretty much ranging in between this area where my gray box is. You guys see that, right?
Yeah.
So that showed you that the market, there wasn't a lot going on. So like if you would have got into some of these trades, if you notice, it never really broke 139 and it never broke never really broke and stayed above 140,500. So that was basically the trading range for last week within 1,500 pips. So there wasn't a ton of quality setups last week, and the reason why is because of Brexit. The news with Brexit, they came out and said that basically, hey, we're not gonna leave the European Union. They thought they had a deal, and that's the reason why the market was super bullish for the last couple of weeks with those crazy moves.
I read that crap.
Yeah. So
I read it on New York Times.
Yeah. You can read on there, CNBC. Yeah, so that's pretty much what happened last week. So if you guys notice, see like right here where my cursor is, see how you had like on the 9th, you had a move from 130,500, and then it shot straight up 2 days later to 137.8. Came down and then went back up. Notice how this is not that kind of move. So right now the market's consolidating. And if you look at these current candles, and I'm gonna put an arrow there so you guys can see it. They're moving strictly from right or from left to right, like in the same range, right? It's pretty much not giving you a trade. So when it's consolidating like this, a big move is coming, either to the upside or downside. It's just a matter of when, right? So it's been consolidating for a week. That's a long time. So if it does the same thing this week, then I can tell you right now, there's going to be probably a huge move to the down, maybe to the downside, because it couldn't go higher. So that's where it is. So from that standpoint, so if you would try to take trades last week, you could have got caught in some sideways action because the market wasn't moving really well. We'll go down to the 1 hour chart, and you guys can see it. You can see on the 1 hour chart, this was basically your range on the 1 hour chart for last week, all of last week. So you could have took trades. It's just a matter of knowing that, hey, you know what? 139,500. I'm sorry, 139. You know, it actually held 139. So you know if it came back down to this area, 139, you would be looking for buys. If it went up to 140,500, this area right here where it rejected, you would be looking for sales. So that's how you can kind of play it. But it wasn't super. The market didn't give a lot of trade setups last week. This is a 30-minute chart. So if you guys notice on the 30-minute chart, this is the same range, right? So it kind of showed you the movement. So you had a trade. I mean, you can kind of see the exhaustion here. So the next time it came into that area, you know, which is 140,500, you can kind of start looking for trade for sales, right? So, but price action has to basically dictate, you know, and allow you to get in. So you basically had, and you can see it here, it kind of lines up. So you had a rejection here with a huge candle, right? And then you had a retest up here. So this happened on October 24th. On October 29th, you had another retest and rejection. So you could have took a trade here at 140,500. Your stop loss could have been above this candle, which was right above like the 140,600 area. So 100 pips stop loss. You could have picked up 500 pips. That was an easy trade. The next time it came back to this area, you can look to trade it again, and you could pretty much had the same kind of setup, back down for about 500 pips. But the market didn't give a lot of trades last week. Who knows if it's gonna, you know, what it's gonna do this week? That's why you allow price action to dictate, like what it's gonna be, right? If I go down to the 5-minute chart, I gotta zoom all the way out because this is on a 5 minute. So basically on a 5-minute chart, you can kind of see. So remember what we were saying, right? So if you had a setup with 2 candles, so I'm just kind of show you guys like what I was talking about, right? So here you got a trade. It rejected 139,500, came all the way down, rejected again here, two black candles, 2 green candles. So you can get in for a buy. And that trade would have got you about 100 pips. You guys can see that right here. So you notice, and I'll show you, I'll put the arrows on it so you guys can see it. You got 2 black candles close to 139. Then you got 2 green candles right after that, right here. Right? So your entry would be this candle right here with the wick. Your stop loss would be down here, so it would be like not even 100 pips. Maybe close to 100 pips. That would have got you about 100 pips on that trade if you wanted to get in. You got the same setup again right here. 3 black candles actually, three green candles. So your entry could have been technically on the retest right here, 139, 184, and you would try to ride it up to 500, 139, 500. Just to kind of show you like how a couple of trades that you can easily take. If you guys notice, it's bullish here, right? 3 black candles, 2 green candles, 1 candle, 2 candle. You would get in here on this candle right around 139, 600. It's going to retest 790. You hold it, and you notice right here, you got an inside candle, right? Here's your inside candle. This black candle is an inside candle, right? You got a bullish engulfing, so you hold it to the next zone, which is 140. So this trade would have technically been roughly 500 pips in about 20 minutes. Same thing again right here. Notice, right? It bust through 140, came back down, did a retest.
So on the inside candle,
Yep.
are you looking for sales or buys? Like,
No, it's buys.
It's buys.
So it's buys on this particular one, because remember what I was telling you guys, the pattern. If you get 3 black candles or 2 black candles and you get 2 green candles right after that, you're looking for buys. So you see right here, I'll show you right here. So you see right here, you got technically 3 black candles in a row. You see that, right? Yeah. Where my cursor is, 1, 2, 3. And then right after that, you got 2 green candles in a row. Here's your 2 green candles in a row. So you take buys when this candle right here closed. The second green candle closes, you take buys, which would have been around 139, 635 area, somewhere around there. Your stop loss would have been 139, 548, so not even 100 pips. And then you ride it to the next level and you watch price action. So basically, you could have held this, right? When you saw this inside candle, what was that?
The fourth 1, 2, 3, fourth one is the anchor candle, right? Yeah, like right where your cursor is, because I see the black one is the inside candle in the middle. But the green that's to the left of that was an anchor candle, right?
No, not necessarily on a 5-minute chart, because this is a smaller time frame.
Oh, that's a 5. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, this is a 5-minute. But what you would have did on this, so if you wanted to go down, because remember, you would have held this. You would have held this trade, because when this inside candle formed, you would have actually held it and tried to ride it up to 140 area because of that. Yeah. So your stop loss could have been, you could have put it at break even or whatever the case may be. So that trade would have worked for about 500 pips.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just kind of showing you guys how when the market is consolidating, you still got trades that you can take. Doesn't matter if the market is consolidating. You basically, because if it's consolidating, it's staying within a range. So within that range, you still got trade setups that you can take. So that's all I was trying to show you guys. So we can go to Herman. You back on here? Let's see if he's on here. Now I was asking Herman, was he on there?
Yeah, I'm on. I was on mute.
All right, man. Yeah, man. Hey, you had to do number 2, man.
2 and 3.
Hey, I hear you, man. So, but hey, I was just telling everybody how the market was consolidating. So if you look here on the 30-minute chart, and if I zoom out a little bit, you can see it better. So you notice how the highlighted area that I have highlighted.
Yeah.
Notice how it's kind of moving from right to left, kind of like staying within the same area.
Right.
So you can see it
there's
better
still
on the
some trades, but
yeah, there's still some trades there. You can see it on the 4-hour. I think you can see it better on the 1-hour actually. Yeah, see how you see on the 1-hour. So it was about a 1,500 pip range last week that it stayed in.
But it still respect the zones.
Yeah, still respect it. You just got to realize that, if you're up 500 pips or whatever the case may be, you probably want to close your trade out, because last week there wasn't much going on. You know what I mean? So, but since you're on here now, we can go to these. And look, this is the daily chart. So look, it's been consolidating basically since October 18th. if you notice, like this is October 17th, 18th area, it's been staying within this range.
Yeah.
It's been ranging within the same area. So they're waiting for that showed you that it's news driven. But basically when it's consolidating like this, that just shows you that it's going to be a big move coming. It's just a matter of when.
Gotcha.
I don't know what that was. Let me go back to this thing, man. I don't know what it took off. Hold on real quick. All right, so we can kind of, we'll go to the weekly chart. And let me see something real quick. I'm gonna go to a blank chart real quick. Load chart layout. So I'm gonna go to this blank chart real quick. Can you guys still can see the chart or no?
Yeah.
But yeah, but do you see the one with the sessions on it, or you see the regular chart?
Regular.
Yeah.
All right, hold on for a second. Well, you know, I can just do it the other way. It doesn't really matter. All right, let me go back and then do it like this. New share. All right, you guys can see the one. Hold on, man. With the sessions now, right?
Hold on.
I can see
Like where it has like the green, white, and all that.
Green, white, and pink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see that one.
Yeah, I can see it.
All right, so yeah, so basically we're gonna go to the weekly chart. Let me take this off. So if you guys notice, this is a clean chart, right? So it's pretty clean. So there's really no levels. I don't really have any levels on this one, but just to kind of see like what, so we can see it better as far as what's going on. So notice, right? So last week closed as a green candle, a small green candle with a wick at the top. This is last week's candle right here. So it closed with the wick at the top, which is technically a sign of exhaustion. So if this rally, because this was a big rally, right? So if this rally is going to continue, it could possibly come down and retest this level right here, which is 135 area, before, or 135,500 before it continues to go up. Because technically the news, they thought they had a deal, right? So that's why GJ dropped, you know, it's been running for 10,000, 12,000 pips. So, but since they don't have a deal right now, what's keeping the market going, right? So you almost have to be cautious that the market could exhaust and retest before moving forward. So if we go to the monthly chart, because now we're technically the new month, November. So it's going to make more sense when I show you guys this. So let me take these off real quick. Let me take these off. All right, so this was October's candle, right? So if you guys notice, remember the market always does a retest typically before pushing higher, right? So if you notice the current month candle, which is this baby candle right here that hasn't formed yet because the month just started, it basically has to form, right? So what's probably going to happen, it may push up a little bit, but it's probably not likely because there's nothing driving it up. I would say it's probably going to come down and do a retest of these areas, which would be like 133, something like that, maybe 135, because you got a small zone here. So if I draw this zone from this area right here across, you guys can kind of see it. So this is like the retest area that it could kind of retest before pushing higher. So that's why I was saying like 135 area, 135, 500, somewhere around that range where it could possibly test. So it has to form a wick at the bottom. When I say retest, you're basically going to push it down to form a wick. Right now, if you notice this little small candle, it doesn't really have a wick, right? And it's super small. So they're probably going to push it down and do a retest, and then they could push it higher. This wick, 99% of the time, with a green candle this size, the wick is going to get filled at the top, right? And you notice the high is 141.452. So that wick is probably going to get filled, but they might push it down first to try to do a retest down here somewhere and then push it up. So let me switch back to this other chart so I can show you guys, and then because I got the levels on there already. So hold on. Your screen is probably blank now, right?
No.
Which one do you see a chart?
Yeah, I see the one with the pink and green and black and the red, everything on the side, like all the numbers are red and black.
All right, so yeah, that's the one out. Yeah, yep. All right, that's good. So let's go through. All right, let's go back to the weekly chart, and then we'll mark some of these. So this is what I was saying. If you notice, right, this green candle. So if I was looking for buys with a high probability right now, it would be at the bottom of this candle, this wick, which is like 135.500. Because if you notice, you had a black candle here. This candle still is looking kind of weak, like they're going to drop it. So if I was looking for buys, it would probably be around 135.500 for high probability buys because of that wick. So I'm gonna set an alert there, and then we can kind of zero in on the lower time frame. Hold on for a second. Crossing. So I'm gonna put it in here. 135.600. Look for buys. So that's one. And now we can go to the daily chart. And you guys can see why I chose 135.500. Because basically this candle right here on the daily, if you notice, it's an inside candle, right? So notice this candle, you got an anchor candle here, huge anchor candle. And then right here, you got an inside candle. And then you got a bullish engulfing, another anchor candle right after that. So this is like a strong area. So that 135.500, and it actually matches up with the monthly chart. So I'm sorry, the weekly chart. It actually matches up with the weekly chart at 135.500. So that's a strong area, 100%. So if it comes back down to that area, it's a huge possibility that it's going to be a buy. This is it. We'll see it on the 30-minute. We got to zoom out. You can see right here on the 30-minute chart, you got an anchor candle, right? It came back down and did a retest of 135.500, and then it shot up. So I got one set there. If you go back to the daily chart, you also got some areas here that could possibly hold. If you guys notice, 137.500, this is a strong area also. Because you got a huge anchor candle right here. The market came down the next day and retested this 137.500, and then it shot right back up. So I'm gonna set an alert here. Look for buys. Now here's the thing, right? Remember, since news is happening, or news could happen, you can't actually remember, price action is king, right? We don't know if the news is negative. I can tell you right now. So if they say, hey, you know what, we're not gonna reach a deal, DJ's probably going all the way back down to 128. which is like a 12,000 pip drop. It doesn't matter if these levels are here. Like, it's going to break right through these levels, right? So that's why price action is key. And then you would have to check your news like CNBC or like Siobhan was saying, you know what I mean, some of these other sites.
New York Times, yeah.
Yeah, New York Times, BBC, like there's a lot of websites that you can check for it, right? So in this right now, you can just play these levels. So right now, the only thing I tell you right now, all you really have is rejection here where the arrow is, and you got buys basically somewhere in this area, right? That's all you got right now until it breaks out of this range. That's it. Like, you're looking for buys when it comes down to this level. If it keeps consolidating, I mean, you're going to look for buys somewhere around 130, 139, and then you're going to look for sells somewhere around 140, 500 or 140, 700 area. Does that make sense? You guys see that?
Yeah, I get it.
So, Voss, you got any questions?
Nah, not so far.
Yeah, so let me see.
His long head ain't got no question.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see this thing real quick. Matter of fact, let me check something while I got you guys on here. You guys can see it, right? You can see the internet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so look what they got on here. Look, so this is the prime minister for the UK, right? So look, Boris Johnson says he's sorry for missing Brexit deadline.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah, Britain's election campaign heated up Sunday with saying he would apologize to Conservatives for failing to take the UK out of the union, saying he won't personally run for a seat. Johnson promised that Britain has been a critical party. Leadership he told on Sunday, a lot of people that he told. Go ahead for it, but his played. I don't know what that. Yeah, so basically with this, so the new date that they set is January 31st, right? So it says a French minister said Sunday the new Brexit date of January 31st is not negotiable. So basically, we're going to have a lot of movement around January 31st.
So you think basically it's going to stay consolidated pretty much until then?
I think if anything, what they'll do is they're going to drop it back down. They're going to drop it back down to that 135 area, because the only reason why the market was up so much was because they thought they were going to have a deal. So now that that's taken away, the market's going to drop. So I would honestly right now be looking primarily for sales. So, and that's with that being said, you see what I'm saying? But you're going to let the market dictate. But quite honestly, I would be looking for sales. So like off this 140,500, level, because remember it was consolidating around this area. If you look to the left, it pretty much rejected this area, right? So if it comes back to this area, I'm actually looking for sales. So let me do
put an alert there.
Yeah, I'm putting an alert for sales. Yeah, look for sales. And I'll be honest with you guys, like this could get a huge drop back down to 135,500. And the reason why is because, so if you notice, 135,500 is like right here, right? That's where I got the alert set, and it's consolidating right here. Like they're kind of like right now they're indecisive, like what's gonna happen. I think they might push this thing all the way back down and then raise it back up for buys. So I would be cautious if you're gonna trade live this week and probably look for sales, because they're gonna have to drop it back down. Nobody's gonna buy. Consolidation basically, right? It's equal amount of buyers and sellers at that particular price point within that range. So there's no movement. That's why it's sideways. It's moving left to right. So until they drop it, so the bank could drop it to get a better price to go long, right? To take buys. So that's what they could be doing. But I got to send you guys the next link, because this link's going to expire. So I'm going to send it right now.
All right.
All right.